This is Stu, and this is my inaugural fall reading. First week or so TBR video. It's not really a TBR video. A couple of books I've started and am into quite a bit, and one I've actually finished from these, but I'm going to call it a TBR just because I kind of want to get back into the groove of making a TBR, and then just sort of as a goal for the next however long it takes me to read the books, and then reviewing those books and then picking another chunk. So it's just my way to chunk books. What is the theme of this TBR? Nothing other than just things that were on summer reading possibilities that I kind of deshelved, and I just like to finish reading them up. So I think I was extremely broad in my summer reading possibilities because I didn't know what summer was going to be like, and I wanted to give myself lots of different options. And I read 42 books this summer, so yay. And there's probably about another 20 or so that that I probably will just read in the next few TBRs because they're unshelved. And so yeah, anyway, the first one it's a carryover from summer reading because I started listening to it on my journey back home. It's a great audiobook. I highly recommend this audiobook. I recommend this book, and that's Ta-Nehisi Coates' The Water Dancer. I will say a lot more about it in the review video because I'm not done with it, but so far we're following a main character who is an enslaved man whose father is the slave owner, and whose mother, it starts with this really grueling scene of the mother being sold off and just the devastation that causes in this main character's life. He's recognized to have many talents, but particularly one with impeccable memory. He's brought to the house to build sort of a relationship with his father, if you could call it that, and is tasked to take care of his half brother who is not enslaved. He's a white man, and this brother and the care therein raises a lot of problems for the main character. The next book I've actually finished, so I will talk more about that in the review video as well, but that was We Are All Welcome Here by Elizabeth Berg. This book follows the story of a young girl whose mother was infected maybe with polio, and therefore was in a iron lung when the child was born, and then can only move her head, and just the relationship and parenting and little ditty about that girl and her mom. This next book is China Dolls by Lisa C. This is my second Lisa C book. I didn't love the first one. I don't love this one. I'm not particularly keen on Lisa C's writing style. The story, however, is interesting, and I'll say more about what I don't and do like about it in the review video as I'm a little over halfway done. It's written in the first person following three main characters, and it's divided into chapters of the characters' names. We have Ruby, Helen, and Grace. Two are Chinese American women, and one is a Japanese American woman. It interrogates and looks at and the setting is San Francisco, early 1940s, and this looks at racism, sexism, what it means to be an American, what it means to honor your heritage, and the war and the internment camps. Okay, the next book is The 100-Year-Old Man Who Climbed Out the Window and Disappeared by Johannes Johansson. I expect this one to be a little bit like or in the same vein as A Man Called Ova, which I thoroughly enjoyed for all of the reasons that people enjoy that book, mostly because of how heartwarming it was. So I think this will be sweet and heartwarming, and a little adventure story about an older fella. The next one is Louise Erdrich La Rose. Super excited. This is will be the third Louise Erdrich book I'll have read. I have like 3 or 4 more on my shelf. I'm finding myself to be a bit of a fangirl. I think she's one of America's greats contemporary authors, and I'm looking forward to getting into back into an American setting. This is going to be North Dakota in the late 90s. The next is Where'd You Go, Bernadette. I don't know anything about this book. I know that it was made into some kind of a series, and generally I find them to be fun reads, but not like, if I find like a book has been written like with the intention of becoming an audio visual or series production, I don't enjoy it as much. I really appreciate the mechanisms of literature and what literature can do, that visual the video world can't. But in any case, I'm to understand that this was at one point a really popular book. I think it's going to be a bit of a page turner and another bit of a fun read, and other than that, I don't know anything about Maria Semple, this author, or this book, other than it's been a series and really popular. And then finally is Lisa Tadeo's Ghost Lover. This is short stories. It's interesting that it's at the end of this stack. I would usually put short stories somewhere in the middles and read them, maybe not cover to cover. But I think when I looked this up, this is a book that I got at the 10 for $5 place that I go every once in a while. And when I looked it up, it didn't really have great reviews, but as it's short stories and maybe somewhere in there 1 or 2 short stories will be good or not. I'm going to give it a try and see what I think about it, and not worry too much about other people's reviews. So we'll see how that goes. In any case, this should be maybe even 2 weeks. I plan to read, I think I've mentioned I plan to read 3 to 5 books a week, and like maybe not at the pace I was reading before, but we'll see. As I've already about finished 2 of them. And when I'm done, whenever that is, with these 6 books, I will do a review video.